Hi everyone, my name is Janshpa and this is my applied assignment post-reflection. The agenda for my presentation is my introduction, pre-work, evidence, new learning concluded by my continued inquiry. Introduction. I was going to do an interview with my director for my second applied assignment, but there was a scheduling conflict. Instead, I chose to complete a program review because I wanted to learn more about the center I work in. Conducting a program review would allow me to see the areas of strength and weakness within the center I work in. On November 21st, I looked at the template and conducted my review based on my knowledge. When I had questions, I asked the person of my management team for assistance. Pre-work. So the first part of my pre-work was my applied assignment details. The first question was the program I planned on reviewing, which is the Gardner School at Yorktown Center, located in Lombard, Illinois. This is an early childhood center for the children ages infants through 5 years old. How did I gain access? This is the place of my employment for 3 years. I am the lead 4-year-old preschool teacher. Information about the center. The center has been open since December 2020 and serves middle-class families. A majority of the families are Caucasian, but there are also a variety of ethnicities. There are also families who are African American, Asian, Middle Eastern. About 8% of the schools speak 2 or more languages. Prior knowledge. From working in the center for 3 years, I know some areas of weakness within the program in creating a supportive environment for DDL students and their families. During this review, I was hoping to pay attention to the weak spots I knew about so improvements can be made. I've had experience learning about communication, training, and teaching DDL students from college courses and professional development days. I was hoping that previous knowledge would have helped me as I conducted my review. Learning materials. The first learning material was a tip sheet article from Lesson 5 titled Creating Environments That Include Children's Home Languages. I chose this learning material to use as a reference if I was having any trouble with the questions on the program review in this section. The next learning material was from Lesson 2 article titled Same, Different, Diverse. I chose this learning material to help me better understand some of the terminology of the questions. The final learning material was an article titled Screening Dual Language Learners in Early Head Start and Head Start from Lesson 4. I chose this learning material for 2 reasons. The first was as a reference if I needed it when conducting my review of the section. The second reason was because this was an area I thought was going to be the largest weakness of the program. I wanted to use this article to help me make improvements for the center while using it as an information when speaking to the staff members who are needed to make these changes. Evidence. So there was 2 pieces of evidence that I needed for my applied assignment. The first was filling in the program review template. Here are some screenshots of the template that I conducted. And this is the chart at the end of it that shows the totals of where my program stood out. The second piece of evidence was pictures of my center. So in these pictures are the different hallways, our lunchroom, our open areas, the main building of the school. And here are some more pictures. These are of our play spaces. So we have our older playground, our younger playground, and then also our indoor playground. New learning. This experience has helped me better understand the program I work in. The program review template made me think deeper into the different aspects that make a successful program for DDL students. For example, under the Teaching and Learning Environment section, a question was asked about displaying the pictures of DDL students and their families for teachers to refer to for planned teaching strategies. This is something I have never seen or heard centers doing. I believe this would create easier recognition within the classroom, especially for teachers who don't know this information. This is one thing I would like to implement inside my classroom now. The rating I gave the program during the review was a 1, but I hope to share this information and increase the rating for the program in this area. Prior to conducting my program review, I thought the section on child screening and assessments was going to be the lowest scoring. However, it was the opposite, being the highest scoring at 71%. This was a positive surprise to me because screening and assessing children is important, in my opinion, especially DDLs, to track their development properly. It's like the article, Screening Dual Language Learners in Early Head Start and Head Start stated, screening is one of the most important tasks that EHS programs perform because it ensures that all children receive the level and type of educational services that support them to thrive. Therefore, it is essentially the program's leaders take a thoughtful approach in properly screening each child. The lowest scoring area of the program review was communication at 51%. After reviewing the questions and scoring accordingly, this does seem like an area that needs the most improvement for the center. Some of the questions asked were regarding providing assistance in meetings and trainings in preferred home languages. Both I scored a 2. Another area of question was informing community stakeholders about services was components, DDLs, which isn't present much inside the center, so I scored it at 1. After learning about these are 3 components, I would like to focus on making improvements with my management team by collaborating to make a plan on how to accomplish this. Communication is the center of developing a supportive environment, and that's why I would like to make improvements in this area in the near future. Continued inquiry. From my experience, I was able to take a deeper look into my center and how well it supports DDLs and their families. It was a positive experience that exposed areas of strength and weaknesses that I didn't realize were there. For example, a strength was engaging in partnerships with families, as we provided a culturally sensitive environment where we share ideas and set goals together. I did this within my classroom, but from my review, I learned almost all the classrooms do the same, which I find to be very positive. During my review, I wasn't able to create long conversations with teachers on how they support their DDL students. To gain more knowledge in this is something I would like to do in the future. I would also like to conduct another review using the same template next year after I share this information learned with staff members so improvements can be made. This would help me determine the impact of the changes I hope my center makes so we could best support our DDL students and their families. I have the following 2 questions for my peers. I would like to talk to my management team about these results of my program review. My question for my peers is, how would you go about this if you were in my position? I was also wondering, what areas do you think are strengths and weaknesses within your center for DDL students and their families? Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and this is my reference.